Hello, beautiful souls. This is Elena Fouché. It's Christmas time, well, holiday season, whatever holidays you celebrate this time of year. And for a lot of us, that means we're going to be with friends and especially family this time of year. And you might have a family member that maybe you're dreading seeing, maybe someone who's a little bit difficult to be with. And I want to share with you something that really helped me in this situation. In fact, my situation was a lot more difficult. I didn't know it at the time, and I was about to get divorced from my first husband. We had really grown in different directions, and it had gotten so bad that we were fighting a lot, like almost every day. The good news is we both had a meditation practice. So I don't remember exactly how this started, like what gave me the idea. I imagine though I probably finished a practice and then walked into the room where he was and bam, we started fighting, as we had done a lot. And I imagine what I did was I just transported my practice into the fight, which turned out to be a really nice thing. So here's what I did, and you can use this with your Auntie Sally or Uncle Tom or your sister, brother, heaven forbid a parent, whoever it is that you're having a bit of a hard time communicating with. What I did was this. I walked in the room, we start fighting, and it occurred to me, hey, the best thing to do here is to be uber present. Really pay attention to what my first husband was saying, like really notice his face, his body language, the emotions that were coming out, the words that he was using, and everything he was saying to me. Like, what's he saying? What does he want me to hear? Really listening to that. That's the first thing I did, was I became really present with him. Because what I normally would do is as soon as he started talking, I would, instead of really listening, like deeply listening, I would start formulating my responses. Why he's wrong and how blah, 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 and he shouldn't say this because of that, and well, actually, right? So formulating what I was going to say and not really deeply listening to him. So that was the first thing I did, was I really paid attention to him. I became really conscious, really aware of him and what he was saying to me. That was the first thing I did. The second thing I did was, all right, I have to occupy myself a little bit here because I'm getting angry. So instead of really building more, I'm gonna instead use that energy to pay attention to my breath. So as I was getting more and more angry, I noticed my physical reaction. I noticed my body. I noticed my breathing as I was breathing. And of course, if you've ever paid attention to yourself getting angry, you know that your breathing changes. Fight or flight makes things much different. So first thing, really pay attention. Become really present with the person. Really listening to what they're saying. And of course, he wasn't saying things I wanted to hear. And probably your relative, brother, sister, mom, dad, are not saying things that you want to hear either. That's not the point, though. They're giving you information. So really listen, because that's really what they want anyway. Everyone wants to be heard. So, what are they saying to you? Really listen, being really present to all of them. Not just their words, body language, emotion, everything. Really listening to that. And then second, instead of course, engaging and thinking about what you're going to say back, really paying attention to your own breath and noticing your breath response, your physical response to being angry. Wow, okay. Right, so I had these two things happening. So this is a fairly simple, well, if you already have a meditation practice, this is a fairly simple thing to do, right? Is to be really present in the moment, notice what happens, and focus on your breath. I mean, that's classic meditation practice right there. So take that into, Christmas dinner or Hanukkah or whatever celebration you're at with this person. Here's what it did for me. First, we would and both get really angry. What started to happen though is we would meet, he would get really angry, and I would not get so angry, right? It took some time, but eventually we would one of us would pick a fight, probably me, whatever, and he would, do our normal thing of get really angry, and I would stay not, I'd stay normal. I would stay not angry. So that was the first thing that happened, was I stopped reacting so strongly. And then the second thing that happened was, because I wasn't, building up the emotion, he came down too. So it took about 6 months, but it was pretty big deal. We lived together, and we'd been together 12 years. So we had a lot of stuff built up every day. So hopefully it won't take you that long, and if it does, it does. But that's what happened in about 6 months. I still remember, at some point in all of that, we were in the kitchen and I was like, wow, he's not even fighting back now. Like, we both just stay here. We both stay calm. And I remember very clearly we were in the kitchen and I started telling him what I was doing. And he had his own meditation practice, so he understood. And I hadn't actually said anything to him before that. So this is the beauty of it. You don't need to say anything to your Auntie Sally or your Uncle Tom to do this. They will not know. And if they do notice, probably what they'll notice is, wow, you're really listening to me. And you're not being angry back. How amazing. Or you're not doing whatever your normal response is. Anyway, try that out. See what happens. I hope that helps. And happy holidays. All right. See you next time.